As for the mastering gain structure, I just have to repeat what I already told you about the gain structure in everything you do. It's very important. I think it's even paramount if you do this all the time, if you practice to use any processing in this fashion. So if anytime you apply a process to a signal, you try to make sure that using the gain output on that actual process, you bring it down to unity, meaning that whatever is happening to your signal, just like here, let's say with the CQ, let me play a piece of the song right there. Now it does seem louder when I do introduce the EQ, but that is only due to the fact that it has more highs, that it has the highs boosted right there. So I try to compensate for that using the gain on the output of this EQ. And I want to do that with each one of the effects I'm using in this mastering chain. And I'll tell you why. Same thing with the compressor, although it is a parallel compression on the master using the dry wet knob right here. I'm trying to make sure that once I play and disable this compressor or enable it, so I'm trying to preserve that gain, that once I actually bypass something, the volume stays the same. It's just the process that disappears. And I'm going to do the same thing for this dynamic tube, and I'm going to do the same thing for any other process up to the limiter. Now, at the limiter stage, I cannot do that, since the limiter is actually the effect that's going to make the song louder and limit at a certain ceiling point where we have it. Nevertheless, everything up to the limiter should be just interchangeable, in a sense that if I listen to this song mastered, and mind you, this is going to become much louder right now since I do have the limiter. Let me pull it down so it don't blow your ears out, just like this. You see, as I enable and disable any of the processes right here, and mind you, these are dry wet, so these are parallel processes that just add a tiny touch of the character to the sound. But I can use them in such a way that I can just bypass them and see if what I did was actually beneficial to the sound. If it was beneficial as a process, if it's making the song sound better in the end. And the best way to check is that if you bypass that effect, that processing unit, the volume does not change, because the volume might fool you that if you bypass it and it becomes louder, you might think that it actually sounds better. Just because it's a tiny bit louder, it might fool your brain thinking that it sounds better. So just by having the volumes organized in such a way and the gains on each one of these processes on the output, as you can see, the output of this unit of the dynamic tube is also pulled down. If I actually take care that if I bypass each one of those, the level of the signal, the apparent volume stays the same, it's going to help me make much better judgments in, is this process actually something I need, or did I just experiment too far with it and just got something that I think I like, but once I bypass it, I actually see that the song doesn't need that. So this is going to actually help you make better decisions when you're mastering, and you can apply this same principle to any chain on any of the tracks, on any of the buses, any of the groups, anywhere. But on mastering, I think it's even more paramount, because you're dealing with the entire track. You're dealing with the sound of your entire song.